Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Spinning the Tires. Today's episode is going to be a little more brief because I'm packing up and getting ready to head to Texas for NASCAR's first ever race at Circuit of the Americas. It'll be my first in-person race. Super excited. We'll get to what I think will happen in the race towards the end of this video. But first, we got to go over the Dover race that happened this last week. Let's get right into it. So this weekend's Drydene 400 was held at Dover Speedway, and it was overall a good race. It was on the average side of races, but as far as an average race, it was on the good side. So it was a pretty average Dover race, but I liked it. It was not boring to watch at all. The first stages saw a variety of leaders at the start, with William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Larson all swapping the lead with a few others. Stage 1 saw Kyle Larson win. He went on and dominated and won Stage 2 as well. Several incidents happened in the first part of the race, including a heavy hit in Turn 4 from Eric Almirola. He got the wind knocked out of him. Fortunately, he is okay. Post-race, he will go on to race as usual in Austin this weekend. But in the final stage, that's where the most interesting turn of events in this race happened. Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman and pretty much everybody else on the field came down pit road. Thing is, Kyle Larson came onto pit road in first, and he left in second. He left second to his teammate Alex Bowman, whose team on that pit stop had the fastest stop of anyone all year at 11.8 seconds. That was what won the race for Alex Bowman. Yes, Alex Bowman is a two-time winner now this year, and my goodness, what a performance from him today. It was really impressive in that last stage. There was this one point where he was on the bottom of a three-wide move between himself, Harvick, and Larson. He fended them off and went on to win the race. Now, that wasn't the most impressive part of things, though. Here's something I really want to focus on. Hendrick Motorsports this week got, for only the fourth time in NASCAR history, a top four sweep with all four of their team's cars. To put it another way, Hendrick's four cars filled all of the top four spots. That is incredible. That is team dominance right there. Kyle Larson, of course, a little disappointed that he finished second to his teammate Alex Bowman, but boy, he can't be disappointed with the result that whole Hendrick stable of Chevy Camaros managed to pull off. That was something incredible. At points it looked like Kevin Harvick or Joey Logano might spoil the party, but no, it was not to be. Hendrick Motorsports making history. And today they just came out with a really cool family photo of the whole team together with all four cars and all their employees. Really cool to see such great history being made still today. There's still history being made in NASCAR, so it's awesome to see. But I want to talk for just a minute about this Hendrick team with William Byron, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, and Kyle Larson coming into the team this year, essentially replacing Jimmy Johnson after last year. He was the young talent that was needed to fill that team and complete the whole vibe, if you will, of that team. You see, because before this, Jimmy Johnson, he was an excellent driver, but in the past few years, he'd been a little out of place. He was an elder statesman, which there was nothing wrong with that, but he was a good 10, 15 years ahead of his teammates. They weren't on the same experience level, and I think that was part of what held Hendrick back a bit. But now with a completely new cast of characters, including champions and race winners, every single one of them have won a race in the past 2 years. I think they've got a Hendrick Dream Team 2.0. You may recall that in the early 2000s, there was a Hendrick Dream Team with Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon. Those were some powerhouse drivers, and it was at points an unbeatable team, especially with Jimmy Johnson winning so many championships in the mid-2000s and 2010s. But since then, they've faded a bit. But this year, they've really come back, and better than ever, I think. I think this could be your second Hendrick Dream Team. And the reason this is so exciting is all of these drivers, and Hendrick is, by the way, the youngest average age team on the grid. But what's so exciting is each of these drivers is very young. Some of them just in their early 20s. They have a long ways to go, a lot of experience to gain, and it's just exciting to see over time as they keep gaining experience just how unbeatable this team might get. So I'm very excited to see where they go with that. But great job to Hendrick, and a few of their cars like Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman haven't had the best luck at all races this year, but I think at this Dover race they all really showed what they were capable of. Also, shoutouts to Tyler Reddick and Daniel Suarez for getting top 10s. Great job by them. Bubba Wallace finished 11th, just outside the top 10. That team had its highest finish of the year, but are still to find the top 10 so far. Meanwhile, Daniel Suarez, the arguably comparable driver of similar experience, he also has a new team. He finished 9th, and that was his second top 10 of the year. He's already at a top 5 as well, and I would look for him to do well at Austin this weekend. So yeah, that's a summary of the Dover race. I'd just like to give a quick overview now of what I think will happen at the Circuit of the Americas race. So this is the first time NASCAR is ever visiting Austin, Texas. It essentially removed a date from Texas Motor Speedway on the calendar, although as a result, Texas sort of got repaid with them hosting the All-Star race this year, the very gimmicky All-Star race, but it should still be cool. But this is one of the races I'm looking forward to most all year. Now, obviously, I'm biased because it's the first race I'm going to, but just as a race in general, I think this is going to be really great. For a long time, I've been on the bandwagon to get Circuit of the Americas on the Cup schedule. I was always hoping they'd do it, but I'll be honest, last year I wasn't quite expecting them to make the move to there, but indeed they did. I couldn't be more happy about it, so I'm very excited to see what happens. Circuit of the Americas is a 3.4 mile road course with a whopping 20 turns. It was designed by Herman Tilke, the main Formula One track designer. This track was designed for Formula One. It opened in 2012 and has hosted Formula One's United States Grand Prix ever since. IndyCar, IMSA, and I think MotoGP, which is a motorcycle series, have all visited this track, leaving NASCAR as the only big motorsport which hasn't yet visited here. But they're finally doing it this year, and it's going to be great to see. As from what I expect from the racing, I expect road course specialists to really show up. Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger, maybe someone like Denny Hamlin or Christopher Bell, who won our only points-paying road course race of the season so far. Any of these guys have a legitimate shot. Anybody in the field really has a legitimate shot because I expect this race to be very chaotic. 20 turns, 20 opportunities to make a mistake, including a very high-speed backstretch with speeds of 190 and then braking down to 40 miles an hour. That's going to be a big trouble spot, so I think lots of drivers are going to make mistakes and maybe even ruin their races early on Sunday. The first turn of this track is extremely wide, but it's a very tight angle. And so it's a big hairpin corner, but you can go 4 or 5 wide up to the top of the hill where this hairpin is. So I expect turns like that to be especially chaotic. But yeah, it's going to be very exciting. My pick is Chase Elliott, although I think someone like Michael McDowell or Chris Buescher is also a big threat to win this weekend. Also, there is rain in the forecast. If it rains, assuming there's no lightning, but if it rains at the track this weekend, NASCAR can still race, and it's possible we'll have a wet weather road course race, which would really only be NASCAR's second time ever running that. I think that would be very exciting. Just add another level to the already crazy chaos of the race. So those are my thoughts on Circuit of the Americas and what's going to be happening. I will be maybe giving some updates from the track. Eventually I'll probably be doing some live streams from the track on my Instagram, but I will be posting videos from the track before too long. I'm hoping to get some nice photos and videos of the cars out practicing on Friday and Saturday. So we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be a great time. So I will see you after the trip. So yeah, be sure to watch along on TV and let me know what you think of the Circuit of the Americas race. So until next time, this is Gunnison signing off with Spinning the Tires.